Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling completely exhausted, confused, and second-guessing your own reality? You know in your gut something is off, but you just can't put your finger on it. One minute you feel like the most important person in the world, and the next you feel like you're losing your mind, questioning every single thought and feeling. You might even start to think that you're the problem, that you're just too sensitive, too emotional, or that you're making things up. If that sounds painfully familiar, you're not alone, and you might be dealing with a master manipulator. These experiences are the calling card of a toxic dynamic, one that can chew away at your self-esteem and warp your entire sense of self. It's a quiet poison, and seeing it for what it is the first, most critical step to getting your peace back. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the world of dark psychology. We'll expose the subtle but powerful tactics manipulators use to control you, especially in your closest relationships with partners, family, or even friends. This isn't about making villains out of people. It's about arming you with knowledge. Using established psychological principles and research on coercive control, we'll break down the exact strategies used to keep you confused and full of self-doubt. By the end of this, you'll have a clear framework for spotting these behaviors, understanding their impact on you, and finally trusting that gut feeling that's been telling you something is wrong. What is dark psychology and manipulation? So, what exactly is dark psychology? You won't find it as a formal field in a clinical textbook. It's really a term for the study of human nature's darker side, our fears, our insecurities, our need for love, and how those vulnerabilities can be exploited for someone else's personal gain. It's the engine behind manipulation, influence, and control. At its heart, manipulation is quiet warfare. It's not a punch in the face. It's a whisper in your ear. It's an attempt to steer your emotions and actions to serve the manipulator's agenda, often so smoothly that you don't even notice it's happening. The person using these tactics wants power over you mentally and emotionally. They're often brilliant at reading people, but instead of using that skill for empathy, they use it to find your weak spots and turn them against you. This can happen anywhere. It's the romantic partner who makes you feel guilty for wanting a night out with friends. It's the parent who criticizes every choice you make under the banner of, "I'm just looking out for you." It's the friend who subtly puts you down to keep you needing their approval. The common thread here is the distortion of your reality and the chipping away of your independence. The manipulator's goal is to make you doubt yourself so completely that you become easy to control. You end up apologizing for things that aren't your fault and losing little pieces of yourself just to keep the peace. The tactics of manipulation now. Let's open up the manipulator's toolbox. These tactics are often blended together, creating a confusing web that feels impossible to untangle. But once you can name them, you can start to see them clearly. Tactic 1. Love bombing. The first tactic, and the one that often kicks off the whole cycle, is love bombing. This is when someone floods you with intense affection, attention, and flattery right at the start of a relationship. It's not just romance. It's a full-on campaign to make you feel like you've met your one and only soulmate. They'll say things like, "I've never met anyone like you," or "You're the most amazing person in the world." After just a couple of dates, they text and call constantly, wanting to know every single thing about you, making you the absolute center of their universe. You might get grand gestures or expensive gifts that feel way over the top for how long you've known them. Why is this so effective? Because it taps into our deepest human need to be seen and loved. It's intoxicating. This massive rush of affection forges a powerful bond and a sense of dependency at lightning speed. The dark side appears once the manipulator feels they have you hooked. Suddenly, the flood of affection can be turned off like a tap, leaving you confused and desperate to get it back. This withdrawal is a punishment. For example, a partner love bombs you for weeks, making you feel adored. Then, the first time you want a night out with your friends, they become cold and distant. You quickly learn that to keep the love, you have to put their needs first. It's control disguised as affection. Tactic 2. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is probably one of the most famous and psychologically brutal tactics. It's a steady, systematic denial of reality that makes you question your own memory, perception, and even your sanity. The term comes from the 1944 movie Gaslight, where a husband slowly convinces his wife she's going crazy. The goal is to shatter your self-trust, leaving the manipulator in total control of the story. Gaslighting can be shockingly bold or incredibly subtle. A common move is to flat out deny something happened. You bring up a promise they made, and they hit you with, "That never happened." You're imagining things. Do that enough times, and you start to seriously doubt your own mind. Another form is to attack your emotional state. If you get upset by something they did, they'll say, "You're just being too sensitive," or "Here you go again, overreacting." This dismisses your valid feelings and recasts them as a flaw in your personality. Imagine you confront your partner about a hurtful comment. Instead of owning it, they say, "It was a joke. Can't you take a joke?" This not only deflects their responsibility, but also makes you feel foolish for being hurt in the first place. The psychological fallout from gaslighting is huge. It causes constant confusion, anxiety, and a self-doubt that gets into your bones. Victims often feel like they're going crazy and lose the ability to trust their own judgment. That's the point. To break down your reality so they can replace it with theirs, making you totally dependent on them. Tactic 3, guilt tripping. Guilt tripping is a powerful form of emotional blackmail. The manipulator makes you feel responsible for their emotions or for bad things that happen, all to get you to do what they want. They weaponize your own empathy against you. Guilt trips are usually disguised as expressions of hurt. You've probably heard a classic line like, "If you really loved me, you would." ... double quotes. This instantly forces you to prove your love by giving in, or they'll hold past favors over your head. "After everything I've done for you, you can't do this one tiny thing for me." This creates a sense of debt, making it almost impossible to say no without feeling like a terrible person. Think about this family scenario. You finally have a day off, and you plan to just relax at home. You mention it to a parent, who replies with a heavy sigh, "Oh, I was really hoping you'd come over. I get so lonely. But ... I guess it's fine. I'll just be here by myself." The message is crystal clear. Your choice to rest is making them miserable. Even though they said it's fine, the emotional weight is designed to make you feel guilty enough to change your plans. Over time, constant guilt tripping teaches you to automatically suppress your own needs to avoid feeling that awful guilt. It's an exhausting cycle that keeps you focused on managing their emotions instead of your own. We've just covered 3 of the heaviest manipulation tactics. And I'm sure for some of you, this is hitting very close to home. It can feel incredibly lonely to realize this is happening in your life. So, I want to invite you to share in the comments below. If you're comfortable, have you ever been on the receiving end of love bombing, gaslighting, or guilt tripping? You don't have to share any details, but just naming the tactic you've faced can help someone else reading this feel a little less alone. Seeing that other people have gone through the same thing is a powerful reminder that you're not crazy and what you're feeling is real. Tactic 4. The silent treatment and withholding the silent treatment is a passive-aggressive weapon. It's when a manipulator deliberately cuts off all communication and emotional connection to punish and control you. This isn't just taking some space to cool off after a fight. It's an intentional act designed to create massive anxiety. By refusing to talk to you, answer your texts, or even look at you, the manipulator throws you into an emotional black hole. And this works so well because it weaponizes one of our deepest fears, abandonment. When someone you care about just ices you out, it can trigger a full-blown panic. You're left scrambling, trying to figure out what you did wrong and how to fix it. The silence is deafening, and it sends a clearer message than any angry words could. You are being punished. The manipulator holds all the cards, just waiting for you to break down and apologize, often for something you didn't even know you did. A close cousin to this is withholding affection, intimacy, or support as punishment. A partner might suddenly stop all physical touch, no hugs, no hand-holding because you did something they didn't like. They won't say they're mad, but their coldness is the message. They only restore that warmth and connection once you've given in or apologized enough. You've been trained. The manipulator has successfully taught you that disagreeing with them results in the pain of being cut off. Tactic 5. Isolation. Isolation is a slow, methodical strategy to cut you off from your support system, your friends, your family, anyone who might give you an outside perspective. The goal is to make you completely dependent on them. When they are the only person in your life, it's much easier for them to control the narrative, because there's no one left to say, hey, that doesn't sound right. It starts small. It might be little complaints about the people you love. Your sister is so critical of me. I don't feel comfortable when she's around. Or, your friends are such a bad influence. You're always upset after you see them. These comments plant tiny seeds of doubt and drive a wedge between you and your support network. The manipulator might start drama right before you're supposed to see friends or family, making it so emotionally draining that you just start avoiding them to keep the peace. Or they might monopolize all of your time, insisting you spend every free moment with them and framing it as a sign of your deep love. Why do you need to see them? Aren't I enough for you? The effect of isolation is devastating. With no one else to turn to for a reality check, you start to see the world only through the manipulator's distorted lens. Their opinions become your opinions. When you're totally isolated, it becomes almost impossible to even see the manipulation, let alone find the strengths to leave. Tactic 6. Projection. Projection is a psychological trick where someone takes their own worst qualities and feelings and pins them on someone else. In the hands of a manipulator, it's a conscious tactic to dodge blame. Simply put, they accuse you of the very things they are doing. It's a crazy-making but effective way to put you on the defensive. If they're the one who is lying, they'll accuse you of being dishonest. If they are the one being controlling, they will call you controlling. If they're cheating, they'll become obsessively jealous and accuse you of being unfaithful. By doing this, they shift the spotlight off their behavior and force you to defend yourself against completely false accusations. While you're busy pleading your case, their own actions slide by completely unexamined. For instance, a partner who is always checking your phone might say, "You're so secretive and controlling. What are you hiding?" In reality, they're just dumping their own controlling and untrusting nature onto you. This is a special kind of gaslighting. It makes you question your own character. You start wondering, wait, am I being controlling? Am I a liar? It's all a smokescreen designed to confuse you and let them off the hook. Tactic 7. Playing the victim and Darvo. Playing the victim is a tactic where the manipulator frames themselves as the injured party in every single situation, no matter what really happened. This lets them dodge responsibility, soak up sympathy, and control the story. Psychologists have an acronym for this exact process, DARVO. It stands for deny, attack, and reverse, victim and offender. First, they deny the behavior. If you confront them about something hurtful they said, they'll just say, "I never said that," or "That's not what I meant." Next, they attack you for even bringing it up. This is all about discrediting you. You're always trying to start fights. Or, "After everything I do for you, this is how you thank me." Finally, and this is the masterstroke, they reverse victim and offender. They flip the entire script so that they become the victim and you become the attacker. They're no longer the one who did something wrong. They are the one being unfairly attacked by a cruel and unreasonable person. They'll say, "I can't believe you're hurting me like this," or "I feel so attacked right now." By the end of the conversation, you can actually find yourself comforting them, and the original issue is completely forgotten. You walk away feeling guilty and confused, having been completely outmaneuvered. Tactic 8. Constant criticism and undermining negging. This tactic is a slow drip poison of criticism, negative comments, and backhanded compliments meant to chip away at your self-esteem. The goal is to make you feel insecure and inadequate, so you're always looking for their approval. When your confidence is in the gutter, you're much easier to control. The criticism can be obvious, like constantly pointing out flaws in your appearance or your job. Are you really wearing that? Or are you sure you're ready for that promotion? It seems a little advanced for you, but it's often more sly. It can come disguised as helpful advice. That's really just a veiled insult. A specific version of this is called negging. Negging is giving a backhanded compliment or a mild insult that's dressed up as a joke. On a date, someone might say, "You're actually really smart for your profession." Or, "I love that dress. My grandma has one just like it." These comments are designed to be just confusing enough that if you get upset, they can say, "I was just kidding. You're so sensitive." But the put down lands. It creates a subtle power imbalance where you feel a little off balance and suddenly eager to prove them wrong. Over time, This constant fire hose of negativity can completely wreck your... You start to believe their negative opinion of you, and you become trapped, thinking you're lucky to have someone who puts up with you. The red flags, signs you are being manipulated. The tactics are what they do. The impact on your feelings, your behavior is the evidence. These are your internal red flags. If you're nodding along to several of these, it's a huge sign you're in a manipulative dynamic. 1. You're always walking on eggshells. You feel a constant humming anxiety around this person. You're always trying to guess their mood and avoid saying or doing the wrong thing. You edit your words. You hide what you really feel. And you know which topics to avoid because you're terrified of their reaction, be it anger, silence, or a guilt trip. It's emotionally and physically exhausting. 2. You constantly second-guess yourself. Gaslighting is designed to make you distrust your own mind. You find yourself always questioning your memories and your sanity. You have a conversation and walk away totally confused about what just happened. You think, did it really go down like that? Am I remembering it wrong? Maybe I am too sensitive. This isn't you being forgetful. It's the direct result of having your reality systematically attacked. 3. You feel guilty for having needs in a healthy relationship. Your needs matter. In a manipulative one, they're treated as selfish or unreasonable. You feel a pang of guilt for wanting to do something for yourself, whether it's seeing friends or just taking a nap. When you try to set a boundary, you're made to feel like you're a bad, selfish person. 4. You don't feel like yourself anymore. This is one of the most serious signs. You start to lose your sense of who you are. You drop hobbies you once loved because they didn't approve. You start adopting their opinions and their tastes just to avoid a fight. You look in the mirror and you don't recognize the person looking back. Your friends might even say, "You've changed," or "You just don't seem like yourself lately." You've spent so much energy trying to be who the manipulator wants. You've lost yourself. 5. You feel drained, anxious, and empty. Being in a relationship with a manipulator is profoundly exhausting. The constant emotional roller coaster, the stress of walking on eggshells, and the mental gymnastics you have to do just to get through the day leave you feeling completely depleted. A healthy relationship should fill you up. This one feels like it's sucking the life right out of you. The solution, how to protect yourself and respond, recognizing the tactics, is the first giant step. Now, it's time to start taking your power back. This isn't about changing the manipulator. It's about changing how you react and protecting yourself. 1. Trust your gut. Your intuition is your best defense. If something feels wrong, if a person consistently makes you feel confused, anxious, or small, trust that feeling. The manipulator has spent a long time telling you not to trust yourself. Your first act of rebellion is to start listening to that inner voice again. That knot in your stomach is an alarm bell. Don't ignore it. 2. Set firm boundaries. Boundaries are the blueprint for self-respect. They are the clear lines you draw that tell others how you will and will not be treated. Manipulators will constantly test and push your boundaries. Your job is to set them and enforce them. Start small. If they're guilt-tripping you, you can say calmly, "I'm not going to make a decision based on guilt." Use I statements. "I feel hurt when you make jokes about my work," instead of, "You're always putting me down." Be ready for them to get angry about your new boundaries. That's part of it. Hold the line. 3. Stop playing the game. Manipulators feed on drama and emotional reactions. When you argue, defend yourself, or get sucked into their crazy-making conversations, you're playing their game. One of the most powerful things you can do is disengage. You do not have to attend every argument you are invited to. This doesn't mean giving them the silent treatment. It means calmly refusing to get in the mud with them. If they try to gaslight you, just say, "I know what I experienced, and I'm not arguing about it." Keep your answers short, calm, and boring. You're cutting off their fuel supply. 4. Reconnect with your support system. Isolation is a manipulator's best friend, so fight back. Actively reach out to trusted friends and family. Spend time with people who make you feel good about yourself and who can give you a reality check. These people are your lifeline. If you've become isolated, take one small step today. Send a text to an old friend. Rebuilding those connections is absolutely vital. 5. Keep educating yourself. You're doing it right now. Continue to learn everything you can about these tactics. When you can put a name to a behavior, like love bombing or Darvo, it loses its mysterious power over you. You see it for what it is, a predictable, pathetic pattern, not a reflection of your own shortcomings. 6. Seek professional help. The damage from long-term manipulation is real. It can lead to anxiety, depression, and complex trauma. There is zero shame in getting help. A therapist who specializes in emotional abuse can be a game changer. They can give you a safe place to heal, rebuild your self-esteem, and help you figure out your next steps. They can be the ultimate validation that your reality is real. Waking up to the reality of manipulation can feel like coming out of a long, foggy nightmare. Realizing someone you trusted has been using these tactics against you is deeply painful. But I want you to hear this. You are not crazy, you are not too sensitive, and you are not alone. The confusion, the self-doubt, and the bone-deep exhaustion you feel are not signs of your weakness. They are the wounds from a psychological assault on your sense of self. Recognizing the game is the first and most powerful step toward your freedom. It's the moment you stop looking for what's wrong with you and start seeing the dynamic for what it is. Healing is a process. It's about learning to trust your gut again, rebuilding your boundaries brick by brick, and rediscovering the person you are outside of the manipulator's shadow. Be kind to yourself. You are unlearning patterns that you adopted just to survive. Now, you get to learn new ones that will finally let you thrive. If this video helped you or shined a light on something you've been going through, please like it and share it with someone who might need to hear this message. Spreading this knowledge can literally change a person's life. For more content about understanding human behavior and building healthy relationships, please subscribe my channel, Philosophy Unfolded. Thank you for investing in yourself today. Knowledge is power, and you just took a whole lot of yours back.